Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sector 1 Thursday Night Community Series. This is round 6 from Dragon's Tail Reverse in Croatia. And tonight's round is brought to you by Box of Beauty, as always. Guys, a bit of an apology. You've probably seen slides of Monza, slides of Dragon Tail, and during the race you'll see some incorrect names, but we had a really late change tonight in the stream logistics. And not all the slides could be downloaded and worked. So forgive me for that, but anyone raises it in the chat, they'll be subject to a $50 fine. So what we might do is move on. The format for tonight, it is the community series. We've got 6 community drivers and 3 drivers from the main game. We've got John from Div 1, Boybegum from Div 2 and XL from Div 3, who should be in Div 1. Just a little bit of a poke with a stick there. I'm sure XL will forgive me. But tonight's format, we have quali, then we have 2x20 minute sprints. The second race is reverse grid on the finishing order in the first race. The cars are the BMW M3 that we're racing in the main series with balance performance, balance power on. And the RD tonight is the Effervescence Mr. Bumcrack. How are you, mate? How's Rock Vegas?
Very well, thanks, mate. And effervescent, well, that's probably a bit of a stretch, but hey, I'll run with it.
Yep.
No, it's actually looking like a reasonable, say, 6 community drivers and 3 main gamers. It should be quite a good night to watch, I think.
Yeah. Any observations from practice? Who's setting the pace? Who might be sandbagging?
I think Boybegum and John TCT are sort of just, they're way up there. XL's not too far behind them either. So, and as for the other ones, the actual community drivers, it's a bit of a mixed bag there, I think. Interesting to see them race, which is a whole different story to actually just being on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm really interested to seeing this. There's a couple of familiar names there for me anyway. Rainbow Socks, Fezza, Slapper's Mate. It's the main thing about the community is that it brings new drivers into Sector 1 and it gives them a chance to not only race each other, but this is nothing like the daily races. You know, this is a really strong league that's based itself on racecraft. So it gives the guys the chance to race against each other, have a bit of fun, show that racecraft that they're able to do, but also in every round we have a few main game drivers in there so they can test their pace. And as I said, the focus is on having fun, racecraft, and you know, there's always the opportunities of seats in the main game. And I think we saw Swayze as recently as last round come into the main game from the community series, and most of the main game drivers have come through the community series. So it's a really fun way to get involved in sim racing at you know, what I'd call a professional level compared to the daily races, and yeah, have a bit of fun and show their wares. So I think apart from that, we might get the guys straight into, hang on, have we got someone?
We've got a new TBR.
TBR,
Just joined.
excellent. All right.
Yes.
Just as well we didn't hit that button.
Yes, I was just about to.
Yeah.
And when I saw he start jumping in,
so we'll let
he's
him
a
get
quality
it.
racer.
Yeah, absolutely.
TBR's actually, yeah.
So as I reckon, as soon as he ticks in, we'll just hit the button. But for anyone out there that's watching the stream and hasn't participated in a community race, make sure you get in. The links are through Sector 1 video, but also the Sector 1 website where you can join the Discord chat. You'll be warmly welcomed, and we run this community series corresponding to every round. Generally after our Division Group A and Group B races are won, the third week we run the community series. So please don't hesitate to join Discord and have a run in the series. It's great fun. Have we got everyone in?
Everyone's in, and actually I've started qualifying.
All right, yeah. Just let me sort out the screen. And like I said, you will see Division 4 up there in the top of the screen. But yeah, it is a community race.
I think we can forgive those sins on a very short notice night.
Yeah, we've got a few on the screen. G'day, Rocky, Evolution Sim Rating, Debrev, Revs is in there. Rainbow Socks, mate, you shouldn't be in the chat. You need to be on the racetrack.
Yeah. Eyes forward.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
So we do have quali. Just give me 1 sec for my...
You quite often see some of the YouTubers out there actually reading their chat as they're racing. It's quite an amazing feat, I find.
Yeah, I'm the traditional sort of bloke. It's one thing at a time. And that's not even done well always. So everyone's...
100% of my concept.
Yep. Everyone's out on their outlap at the moment.
Those liveries all look good in the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, sorry guys, just sorting out some slides. But yeah, with first lap, the outlap, we've got XL coming around. So he will be the first one to set a hot qualifying lap. Very tricky corner that, I think it's turn 14 from memory. But,
it is actually a very hard corner to get right.
yeah, just a fraction out. I've seen people basically pit themselves through a slide unintentionally, but and you've got a double apex turns 1 and 2, which is one corner, but as I said, that double apex very challenging.
It's quite a technical track, and there's a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah, look, thankfully the forecast for today is sunny. We've had some mixed bags in the Group A and Group B race. So 133 from Rainbow Socks.
As race director, I have noticed that John is still sitting in the pits. I believe he's going for a first to last, last to first. Tonight, then.
And with the second race being a reverse grid, that'll certainly give him a good run from there. But we have seen in the past some of the main game drivers do sort of limit the qualifying to give the new guys a bit of a chance. So we've got XL 132.493. He's into the pits very early to put on fresh softs. Boybegum just behind at 0.683. Yep, caught on the curb. So an unfortunate thing there. He's copped a 3-second penalty because that slide put him across the pit line. So that's going to make it very hard. So who mentioned drama? It's happening.
Yes. I think that's Boybegum's qualifier done for.
Pretty much. Yep. Although he's a very solid driver, so
Oh yes.
I had a great tussle with him last Sunday night. Slappers mate, 0.158 behind Boybigum. He's on his, this should be his third lap where the tyres are really coming into the track, and they're also getting a handle on the different corners. Turns 3, 4, 5 and 6. While they're very separate turns, there is a series of lines that just flow, and there's a lot of time to be made in those corners. And actually you could even take turn 7 even though it has a blind turn in. So behind Slappers mate we've got Rainbow Socks currently 0.286 off, and 1.127 off the lead, which isn't shabby given XL's times on this track. P5 at the moment, Greg's, and 1.196 back to CP Water Arrow.
In major dramas here, we've got CDXL and Boybigum both with 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. XL must have crossed the line on the way out, but
I can almost bet money he did the exact same thing.
Same thing, yeah. Good to see Boybigum there fade to the right when you're serving that penalty. It's keeps the other. And look, with P7, I'm going to just say ESR because the other one said quick 5 times, not going to work. He's 0.4 back from Water Arrow. With TVR in the pits taking on fresh tyres, or actually ESR is just going to pick a penalty up for that. He was way over the lines on the way in. And we've got Fezza in P9. So yeah, the pit lines have not been kind to the new guys.
No, it is actually a treacherous line on the way in. You've really got to ease off on that corner and lose quite a fair bit of time to actually line yourself up with it. It's yeah, very, very harsh.
Yeah, the other thing here is that on the way out as well, you're coming up against cars at absolutely flat out coming up the main straight with a short pit exit. So, and it all goes into a 90-degree turn 1. So you've got to be very careful of your track position and situational awareness for that. We will switch over to XL, see how he's travelling. I think this is a lap that was impacted by his 3 seconds, so his terminal speed down the straight, yeah, would have been a bit slower. But now he's lap 6. It will be full on, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do with that time difference.
Slapper's mate slipping himself up into 2nd place.
Yeah, and a really solid time. I think in this last lap, how long we got to go? About a minute and a half. They may get around. There's a very good chance we'll sort of get into the 31s, potentially 30s. And there's XL 0.232 faster.
Also got to point out too that these cars have all been set to the same balanced performance, so they all have the same suspension and tyres and everything all set the same.
Absolutely, and this is what it looks like going down into the sausage of death. Make no mistake, you hit those red things wrong and it's all over, and a pretty handy penalty to boot. And it does crackling on stream, fellas.
Ooh.
Not sure how to remedy that, guys.
Oh, what clear through my comms.
So XL wasn't able to improve there. Guys, I'm just checking connections. If there's a bit of feedback, a bit of crackling through the stream.
Excel coming home for his final hit. Oh, and he's blown it on the last corner. Let's see what Greg's doesn't improve. Going to have to wait. There. You want John?
You guys hear me okay?
I can hear you again.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry guys, look, I've tried everything here. Unplugging, plugging, setting the OBS things. I don't know where that static's coming from. Maybe a program or a YouTube issue, but we'll persist.
CDXL
We've got the
managed to
results.
hold on.
Sorry, what was that, mate?
CDXL managed to hold on in the end.
All right, so we've got XL with a 132.493, very close back to Slapper's Mate at 132.604, followed by Water Arrow, Boy Begum. Good to see a couple of community drivers in the top 4. Rainbow Socks in at 5th, very credible, only just over a second behind. We've got Greg's, followed by TBR, ESR, hit the next button, and followed by Fezza and John, who set out quali in the pits, but make no mistake, he'll be in there with a bit of racecraft, showing the guys how it's done. So I think anything to add there, Bunkrat?
No, it all looked pretty well. Yeah, they went around the track and they got their times. It was, I think CDXL is going to sort of excel here again. But Slapper's Mate, he'll do well tonight, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a good race. So look, we might start that up straight away and get the boys running.
I think we will.
So first race, 20 minutes. Tyres and fuel, they will need to make a pit stop. It's mandated sauce for the race. Somewhere, I think, between 9 and maybe lap 12, depending on different strategies that come into play. But
We're all lined up here. I think I've lost you there, Guru.
Yeah, no, it's alright, mate. I'm just... OBS is doing really funny things tonight, and a lack of practice and late notice. Alright, we should be going. So, great start there from XL. Apologies for missing the start, guys. Closely followed by Water Arrow, Borbigum and Greg's, and John already up to P5, so... And the main thing about this, with BOP on, it actually takes away any variances of tuning, and it's a real driver versus driver aspect for certainly these shorter sprint races.
It certainly is.
And we've got John already up there putting pressure on Greg's.
Slapper's mate had a pretty ordinary start there, dropping back to 6th place.
Yeah, unfortunately the streamer wasn't on point, so if you were watching it, how did it pan out?
To be honest with you, I was actually watching more of the backfield because it was a very ordinary start by Fezzer and TBR. It almost looked like they went backwards. Not enough to call a red flag because both of them did actually move forward pretty quickly, but yeah, it looks a bit strange down the back.
Yeah, but certainly they seem to be getting in a bit of a rhythm. It's only just under 2 seconds back to P5. The guys behind are quite pacey. Once they get through lap 2, we'll get to see what the race times are at. But yeah, Slapper's mate's putting a bit of pressure on John there in his battle with Greg's. And this back straight, really fun straight to be on. It tightens up to the right for the fastest line, but there is really only one line into this S-bend series of S's, and yeah, it's not a too wide exercise under brakes. It often ends in tears, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle it tonight. But I suspect there'll be a bit of slipstreaming here as they come onto the main straight. So you see a divergence of lines. So in the Group A and Group B races, through turns 1 and 2. Oh, we've got... Who was that?
Prometheus.
Let's see if we can hit the replay. No, it timed out, unfortunately.
Both John and Slapper's Masters have actually got past Greg's. They're trying to hunt down Borbigum.
Yeah, so Water Arrow is applying a lot of pressure through that series of bends. Just remind me to, as they come on the main straight, remind me to write a note to myself, never take on streaming with an hour's notice. But it'll be interesting here, do we see a move under brakes? Yep, set himself up the inside. Very tight apex under brakes. Slightly faster line on the outside of Borbigum, but I think Water Arrow's got this. Yes.
He has.
And also Slapper's made a move on John.
Very nice. It's very hard to get the power on the outside of that corner.
Yeah, well, John's regained that back. Great move through there, but it sets the inside lineup through the next 3 corners for Slappers, mate. We saw a bit of this in Div 1 and Div 2 the other night. Very close racing room given.
Johnny's certainly not going to make it easy for Slappers, mate.
No, absolutely, and Boybegum's got the position back, so while we're watching the other battle, he's made a move through that back section, turn 7 through 9. Meanwhile, we've got XL at the front. He's crafted out a 2.4 second lead there. Very close times to his, certainly in the vicinity of his qualifying times. So setting the pace. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out over the next few laps as those tyres get into that second part of their wear cycle. Do is just go back and look at from P6 further on. So we've got Greg's actually sitting on the back of John's Slappers mate Waterow. Rainbow Socks back in P7. He's got a bit of a gap to 6, but ESR is in very close proximity, 4/10 there. TBR 3 seconds back, and Vezza 10 seconds back. So I'll go back up to Waterow Boybegum. Might just go on board through these this braking area in the S's, and you can see just how hard it is to get this line right. Oh, and up that sausage curve, and that's what happens, and that ruins the exit speed for this next corner. So there's a very good chance there that Waterow can get a run through here and get him on the inside up the main straight. Oh, he's a little bit wide on that curve. I think he might have to save that for the next lap. Yeah, that's it, the bird's eye view of what it looks like for the drivers when they do it, and I'll just stay on board as we go through turn 3 through to turn 6. This one here, all it wants to do is take you wide, but if you get in tight, you can set your lines up, apex here, and this next corner in car, you'll see how it's actually blind as you turn into it, the track falls away. And a great run out of there. That's pretty tricky getting to that corner too wide. Then they come up pretty much a hairpin up here to go onto the back straight. Really important to get the turn in right here and get on the throttle early for the drive. And you can just see how close that is there. And we'll hold that and see what happens. That's really difficult to make that work, both second and third and fourth and fifth. And like I said, these cars are actually got pretty firm suspension and they don't have much give over those sausages. And yeah, it can shoot you basically in 90 degrees if you're not careful. So you've got Slappers made up the inside of John. Great racing here. Actually, they're all too wide. Boybegum wants that position back. He was having a bit of a look down the inside there, but he's gone a little bit wide, which has left himself vulnerable here to Slappers mate. So can he take the advantage in the next few corners and line himself up for that back straight? outside line. Oh, a bit loose under acceleration. I think Boybegum will hold this. But that will end in tears if they, now they're nose to tail. Oh, you can hear those tyres protesting. But, that's brought John back onto the back of Slappers, mate. So yeah, it's on. So I'm just thinking, Mr. Buncrack, should we, we're lap 7, have a look at the tyre and fuel update?
We probably should, actually.
Yep, okay. Brought to us by APR Automotive. So far away, mate.
Up in position number 1, obviously, he's getting a 3-second lead now. He's just walking away from Moore's CDXL. His right-hand front tyre, left-hand front tyre is absolutely nasty. He's got to be in for a pit this lap. Sitting on about 74 or 73% fuel. Now, it's not so bad, but his tyres are so much worse than Watt Arrow, second position, who's only got about a third of his tyres gone, rather than the 75% XL's got. His fuel, exactly the same. Boybegum with the same fuel, and his tyres as well, are nailed on the front left. He's looking at about, I'd imagine about 60% gone, so yeah, he's got to have a pit very shortly. Slapper's master, Slapper's mate.
Right.
His tyres are about 30% gone, almost all exactly the same fuel. So yeah, he's been pretty medium on his tyres. Greg's is very similar, at about 45-50% gone. John has got absolutely fresh tyres on. What's going on there? Oh, he's just come out of the pit.
He's come out, he's pitted early. Yep.
He certainly has. Rainbow Socks is on about 50% worn on his tyres, so he's been a little bit hard on the tyres as well. Prometheus, again, roughly about 50% on his tyres. TBR has
leave the room.
come out of the pit. Oh, okay.
Technical issue there, yep.
And TBR down the back of the field's only just come out of the pits as well, so there are some drivers in there who could possibly get a full race without pitting.
Yeah, so who would you call that? Which one?
Slapper's mate
Yep.
is actually looking pretty good.
And that's good considering he's been at the pointy end of the field too.
And so's Watt Arrow.
Yep.
He's actually, I think they're sitting probably one of the best on the track. 45% worn. I think he could be a big surprise here.
Yeah, we've got 7.5 minutes to go. So, but it's really interesting to see the tyre wear difference in, I guess, driving styles, but also lap times. But it certainly is going to make for a very interesting conclusion of this race as these strategies pan out.
It certainly will. People looking after your tyres is actually quite a big thing, but this is a very big jump between some of the drivers.
Yeah, and so look at on those comments, XL and Boybegum will need that outright pace. They've got to find a way to maintain it without falling off as their tyres degrade, like they did in the first stint.
I think Boybegum looks like he's lost probably half, 3/4 of a second. Better sort of times at the moment, which is not too bad considering how bad his tyres really are.
Yeah, so he would need to come in this lap, do you think?
Look, if I was him, I would. You can't stay out there too much longer.
No, that gives him
We're
about
past the halfway point.
Yeah, that's going to give him about 5 and a bit minutes on fresh tyres and probably low fuel. So, but if Slappers doesn't pit, there's a big differential to make up there. It probably can't be made up.
It certainly can't now. But thinking they don't need fuel at this pit stop, I think you'd lose about 20 seconds in that pit stop, approximately. And to make that back in, say, another 9 laps, 8 or 9 laps, that's more than 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, and what's interesting, Water Arrow on that strategy, he's actually pulled out, what was it, 2.5 seconds was the differential. It's now down to under 9 tenths. So he's certainly got his eyes full.
He certainly has. So that's a lot to make up, like trying to find 20 seconds lost at the pit stop.
And he's gaining at hand over fist, so lap 11, XL's tyres will be certainly hurting him at this point.
They're 90% burnt out, and with the tyre model, I'm surprised he's actually keeping up top. He's doing really well.
Yeah, he's actually now around 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds off his faster times earlier in the stint. And you can see there on the right hand side where the times have just started to fall off, but certainly in the last 3 laps, off a cliff, which has brought the other guys well and truly into the race.
Certainly has.
Rubbing his racing.
Yes, he's got so much more traction. He can do that on the outside there.
Absolutely, and get the run in. But what will happen here? So XL's held that sort of tight line, apex to apex, but Water Arrow is all over him like a rash. He's staying out.
Brave man.
And a big move to the left. Hold that defensive line for the apex. Oh, sorry, move to the right. The other left. And Water Arrow's got him. Both of them. That's a 2-for-1 deal there. XL wide, really wide on those tyres. That hurt bad.
Yeah, he's sitting at 98% gone.
Yeah. You can still drive them, but you're not going to be anywhere near the pace of even a 2/3 more tyre. And he's wide again.
Yeah.
So we might just go back to Water Arrow and Slappers. What's your thoughts on fuel and tyres? These guys are going to get home without a pit stop.
They've actually worn out. This tyre model can be a little bit deceptive. The last bit of the tyres does wear out a lot quicker than the first bit. These guys are sitting at about 70-odd% worn, and I think we're probably
2 laps
18
left.
minutes into it. Yeah.
Oh, one more lap after this maybe.
Yeah, geez, it'd be lucky to make it. If they do it, you can push them, as you say, you can push them around the track and actually make it. I think they could. I probably would in their position.
Yeah, they'll be coming around now to I reckon this will be the last, very close to the last lap, And even there, with that, where you can hear those tyres protesting around that last corner. And to make things spicy, these guys are going to be starting at the rear of the grid. And when you throw John and XL and Boybegum and Greg's into the mix, holy whizzer, it's going to be a ripper. But the race isn't over between these two. Counter has got 52 seconds left. So what sort of run will Slapper get through here? Drive out of here will be absolutely critical out of this right-hander. Well positioned. Can't get any closer from the slipstream than that. 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths.
Gonna have to set it up for the last corner.
Yeah, confirmation, final laps. So it all comes down to this right-hander and the right-hander onto the main straight. So who's got the better line? Water Arrow or Slappers? And while we missed that, John and Boybegum have got through on XL. But a great win there to Water Arrow. Slappers in second. We've got John in third, with a bit of buffer either side of him. Boybegum crossing the line in fourth. XL, bit of tyre issue there, so it'd be interesting to see what strategy he has in the second race. Greg's in sixth. Rainbow Sox coming around. He's got TBR right in hunting range, so he needs a really clean line coming onto that main straight. And it looks like TBR's got him up the inside. Yes.
Nice.
Just got him. So solid P8 for Rainbow Sox. ESR finished 9th, and with unfortunately Fez's exit, that let's get the results. So just confirming what we said. P1 Water Arrow, P2 Slappers Mate, third in with John. Boybegum fourth. John also picked up fastest lap, 131.538. XL in fifth. Greg's in sixth. TBR in seventh. Rainbow Sox in eighth. ESR in ninth, and a DNF for Fezzer. So what we might do, guys, is take a short intermission. So we've just got to manually set the grid. I'll see if I can play around with the sound, but before we go, just see the comments in the chat. I reckon, well, we could probably drive of the round, but I have no idea how Rainbow Sox midway through the race can type. I'm happy with fifth, and no one can take that away. Be better than me. I'd be into a wall. I'd be into a wall big time. So yeah, look, that was a really good race, and it came together at the end with divergent strategies there on how to look after the cars and what lap times to run. So I'll just quickly go into the intro again, and as soon as we've got the grid set, we'll be back. We won't necessarily be waiting for the full length of the intro. So back shortly, guys. Welcome back, everyone. The good news is we have the grid manually set for race 2, so we won't be too long before we get into that. And also apologies, this static issue that's been raised in the chat, no idea what it is. We've checked some connections and that sort of thing, but it could be software based. But if we can persist with it, apologies for that. But I don't want to do anything that actually risks the stream at this point, especially going to such a good second race. So, Mr. Bumcrack, I reckon, without further ado, we get these guys underway. So, actually, we'll just quickly go through the grid for you. ESR start in P1, Rainbow Sox will start in P2, TBR in P3, Greg's in 4, XL in 5, Boybegum in 6, John in 7th. Expect to see a few movements between those few drivers, putting pressure on the guys finishing coming from the back, which will be Slapper's Mate and John Slapper's Mate and Waterrow. So this will be a cracker of the race with these guys coming through, and the big question is who will do it and look after their tyres so they're there to fight on the last lap. So I think on that note, if you want to get them underway,
I'll hit that big yellow button. Right, they've assembled on track.
Alright, we've got the start this time, so Streamer's picked his game up big time. Alright, so watch those lights. When they're out, it will be time to run. 2 lights, 4 lights, 5, and we're away. Great start there by, it looks like ESR on the inside. He will have a great line in that corner with Rainbow Sox in TBR's come through. Great start by him. Did not see him on the outside there.
Not a bad line to take on the start line, that outside line.
Yeah, it brings you, lets you tighten that second apex up, and you get a great run down to the straight. But certainly a bit of toing and throwing there, but everyone's giving racing room to each other, so that's a great sign. That's a really hard corner to go too wide on. It's blind on the entry, so well done, guys.
All got out of there alive.
Yep. No one died making the stream.
Nor lost an eye.
Well, Rainbow Sox, bit of a moment there under acceleration, but this is where it's always hard on the first lap. The dreaded sausage curbs. Oh, Rainbow Sox on the inside. That was a very, very big move. And he's oh no, TBR's got the inside. He will get a great run onto the straight there. But yeah, very strong racing by Rainbow Sox. It's good to see him up there, and he's giving it a good crack.
Prometheus is still holding his ground out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's got first of the back runners, John coming through, and XL right behind him. So it'll be game on very shortly.
It certainly will.
You can see the speed differential there, John under brakes. Bearing in mind, John's Div 1 in the main game.
Yes.
Oh, Rainbow Sox is off.
Oh. What happened then? You've got a replay on that. I think there may have been a bit of biffo involved there. Could be wrong.
Just looking. Oh no. He's done it. He's got caught up on that curb by the look of that.
Water Arrow's had himself held up a little bit, but he's finally nearly managed to get past Greg's. Greg's is holding himself. Sound right.
How many times can you push a button on a controller to get your screen right? But here we go, Watero, Greg's and Rainbow Socks. So is that Watero on the inside? So he's just sacking that title line in. Good run out. He's held it up the curb, and he should be able to hold this through turn 3.
Unless he opens the door.
Yeah, so he's got that. So we'll just go up to get back into the race border.
Yes, John slipped past everybody.
Yeah, certainly has. I'm just looking. ESR is really coming under pressure here from XL, and not to be shy there. TBR is 3/10 back and looking very racing.
Yeah, both Prometheus and TBR are putting on a really good sort of effort to stay out there with the pointy end of the field at this point in time.
Yeah, you'd see TBR's car there, even though he got a good run out of the corner. That he was 2 wheels in the air through the right-hander into that S-bend there, courtesy of the curb.
And,
oh no!
Whoa! Prometheus has come adrift on that final corner.
Let's see if we can see what happened there. No, that's not going to work.
He's just caught the grass on the way out of that last.
Absolutely.
Final. Gets everyone that. It's
yeah. I should leave the telemetry on the screen. It's good to watch, but can't do that.
I have the luxury that I can. And do.
Yep. One advantage of being an RD, you see everything.
And I look at try and look at everything, and TBR's back in 8th place. What happened? Yeah. We missed that. That was one of the things I was going to mention, was TBR could be a little... Yeah,
well, he was in P5,
word.
so guys, I'm not going to attempt the replay function on it, but it's definitely part operator, part software here, but he is... Actually, I'm just wondering...
trouble for a livery. He's actually not using a full livery.
No, I'm just wondering if maybe he and ESR come together there at one point, because they're a long way back, and TBR is very loose through that series of bends, very loose. So that's killed the gap there for a bit. So I might go up and have a look at P2. So John's moved out to a 2.1 second lead. We've got XL holding over Water Arrow. We've got Greg's 3 seconds back in P4, a second back to Rainbow Socks, who's really, holding his position here. That said, he's got Boybegum, very quick dip 2 driver, aiming down on him, picked up 3/10 just through those 2 corners. 3 seconds back to Slapper's mate, and I think we'll see that that come back a bit during the race, and then ESR back in 8th, and TBR just, well, within striking range, 9/10 back from ESR. So we'll go back and have a look at Water Arrow. These guys have seemed to settle into a bit of a rhythm there, although that's Water Arrow's 4/10 up, but that's that part of the lap. So see just how that timing differential ebbs and flows over the next couple of laps.
Yeah, I think XL made up a little bit of time on John.
Yeah, I think Rainbow Socks went a bit wide there into that corner, giving Boybegum a run through.
John into the pits. Very early.
Yeah,
pit.
very early.
mega undercut.
We're about halfway through. Knowing John's into the pits, I'm just thinking we do an APR automotive tire and fuel update, just so we can get a handle on just where these wear rates are compared to the race one. So
Yeah,
fire away, mate.
I'm not quite sure on what John had going in there. I wasn't actually tyres point in time, but they can't have been too bad. Excel is sitting on about 15% wear. Water Arrow possibly about 18%, it's a little bit worse. Greg's is very similar. Boy Begum's again very similar. Slapper's mate, he's actually looked after his tyres well again. He's probably on about 10% wear. Rainbow Socks possibly 15%. TBR has had a tough night at the office. He's about 15% wear, and ESR is about, I'd possibly call that about 12 to 14% wear. But, yeah, the tyre model, the tyres do drop off really quickly once they get to around the 20 or 30% mark.
Yeah, it looks like the drivers have sort of picked up a bit from that race one, in that a couple of them that had really high wear, like XL, I think Boybing from memory, but they seem to be on par this race, so definitely changed their plan of attack in regards to how they punt around a lap.
Yes, and it certainly does make a big difference how you drive the car to your tyre wear on this track.
Yeah, and as we've seen with TBR, he did have a few moments, and that can really, it only takes a couple of slides to really kill those tyres.
Yes.
Just looking at the chat, and we've had no comments by Rainbow Socks, so he's going really well. He might be really focusing on the race.
Nice forward, Rainbow.
Yeah. So, XL, 2 seconds back to Water Arrow. He's pulled that gap back a little bit. Yeah. And actually, we've just had a change there with Boybegum and Greg's. So we've got 3 there. I'll focus on Greg's in the middle, but there's 3 there in very close proximity, and looking at how close they are, if there's a break, they can certainly be challenging first and second here for a showdown over the last couple of laps. And it's brought John back right up on the back of them too, with what I suspect would be very fresh tyres.
Slappers makes a cracker of a move on Greg's.
Yeah, and that's brought John into the game here too, so I think he might be on for a pass. Yes, he's coming in, just backed off a fraction. It's a very tricky apex to get a pass right through there, but he's definitely, he's got the speed on him.
Out with the intimidation tactics.
Yep. And like I said, that turn, I guess turn 7, that is for me the hardest corner on the track, because you turn. Oh, John's up the inside there, and he'll make this stick, I believe. Yeah, that turn 7, you're turning in blind, but you also need to hold speed for the next series of corners. Very, very technical.
It is a very hard one. You've really got to where that corner is and try and look at that. It's
I think you'll see an orange square on the left hand, on the fence on the left hand side. I think a lot of drivers use that as a turn in. I use where I first see the ground start to drop away, so everyone's a bit different there, but yeah, very technical.
I actually use the bridge itself.
Mind you, mine's not the fastest by a long shot.
Yeah, surely you shouldn't be listening to me if you want to go faster, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the gap's down under, just on 3/10 now. So Boy becomes a bit wide there. He'll lose a run coming down here. So see the difference. I think you said Slappers had pretty good tyres. You see the difference there. Slappers was a lot tighter on the apex than Boyd going through there.
And this is where the tyre wear really starts to actually come into it. The difference from last tyre update, I think we probably should do 2 tyre updates. It's only a 20-minute race, but it's amazing how much it changes.
Yeah, it's 3 wide almost.
You see the XL sitting there with about 30% wear, with Watt Arrow, who was really good last round. He's sitting on about 45, pretty well 50% wear. So he's given his tyres a real hard time this race. Boy Bagama, he's sitting on a 60% wear, looking pretty sad. Slappers, mate, has done the same thing he did last race, and he's sitting on about 35, maybe 38% wear.
Of wear.
So he's looking real good.
Real good, yeah. John's just up the inside of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And John's got fresh tyres.
Yep.
He did it. Greg's, he's had a tough night at the office, so he's sitting on about 55% worn. Rainbow, about 60% worn. DBR has eased off on his tyres a little bit, and he's sitting on about 60% worn. And Prometheus is also good, so his tyres are virtually worn.
Yep. And this is a great drive by Borgum. I mean, he's got John and Slappers putting a lot of pressure on, but I don't think Slappers here is going to let John get away easily. He's certainly, there's tyre differential, but he's certainly quick.
He certainly is, and his tyres aren't looking bad at all, really. You can sit, he hasn't pitted.
Oh, that might be a penalty there. It's John's up the inside there. I think, yeah, just running wide under that bridge is probably took a bit of sting out of Boybegun's entry to that corner.
John with the 1:31.5 a couple of laps ago is the best lap. Now that's cool.
Just have a look in car. We just see going up into turn 1 just how tight this corner is. 240, pretty much 250 kilometers an hour, hard on the brakes, second gear. You'll see different drivers use third through there, but yeah, you certainly got the move done.
We had to see Water Arrow bit the bullet, had to come in at tyres.
He's pitted, yeah.
Yeah.
He had 60% wear from memory.
He did. He was actually looking even worse. Because as I said, the tyre model makes these tyres wear out almost at an exponential rate.
And before anyone asks, I left the tyre and fuel up there longer because I wanted the sponsor's name out there. And it's a good time to say, if you can put up with the streaming issues tonight, please hit like and subscribe. It means a lot to Sector 1. I think we've got 7 likes there at the moment, so a few more, really appreciate it.
John's making some great ground on XL here at the moment.
Yeah, XL, so what did we get last time? 13 laps, 8-second differential. John certainly has a pace, so he's well and truly into the 32's race pace. XL's drifted into the 30, he's holding the 33s at the moment, so there's a second differential, but how's XL's tyres holding up in this very last part of the stint?
They're not so bad. I mean, really, they're looking at about 60, maybe 65% wear. John's are already at 30%. And Slapper, they're that little bit better than Slappers. They're not very similar to Slappers tyres at about 65% more.
Yeah, so actually I think it was 14 laps, I can't remember, but look, John will certainly ink some time out here, but if Excel can just hold this, preserve what's left of his tyres for a reasonable wear rate, because John's going to be pushing hard, so his tyres will wear a lot quicker, exponentially, especially with the warm conditions. Sun's out, gun's out, it's just, he'll have a battle to bridge that gap.
Yeah, it's a long way, a lot of gap to bridge.
A minute and a half. Minute and a half, yeah. So they'll
basically 2 laps.
Yeah.
Boy becomes struggling down there on about 70 or 80% wears. He's really given those tyres a bit of what for.
Yeah, and didn't you say Waterrow pitted? So he'll be on fresh tyres. Yeah.
And 4.6 seconds. Well, anything can happen when your tyres get as bad as Boy becomes.
Absolutely. Only
one mistake.
Yeah. We'll just see what his split times are at the first split. Yeah, so he's sort of equal, pretty close to his best time, a little bit sideways there into that turn of death. And behind him, Greg's actually went onto the grass there, so would have killed his lap time there, cut a bit of breathing room to water arrow. Back onto John, he's pulled, what, 3 seconds out? But final lap.
2.5, yeah.
Final lap, we'll get on board with XL as he runs up in the last turn. Hold it together, he's well and truly inside the track. Great win. First place, XL in the race 2. He came from P5, I believe, for that, so excellent race. Yep, and John's crossed the line in style. Slappers mate 4. Boy begum. Everyone's going round. Spin, 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 as Murray Wolf used to say. Greg's in P6. Rainbow Socks. Oh, he's under pressure. Same drive, same time. Isn't that a repeat of race 1? TBR and Rainbow Socks? I could be wrong, I think it was. Yeah, wow.
I think he might be right.
And ESR coming around in 9th, and with Fez's retirement, that will round out the field. Yep, and a great finish for 9th. So we'll let the guys wind down, we'll get the results. All right, race 2 has been run and done, reverse grid. XL in first place, John in second. He's done a pit stop there, fastest lap of 1:31.530, and started at the back of the grid. Slappers mate in P3, Boy Begum P4. We've got, why is that wrong screen up? We've got, Water Arrow in, Boy Begum P4, Water Arrow P5, we've got Greg's in 6, TBR in 7th, very close finish over Rainbow Socks in P8, which I'm pretty sure that was a carbon copy of what went down in race 1, and ESR in P9. So I'll just quickly hit the slideshow. And yeah, look, it's certainly, and again that's showing Monza, but at this late stage, who cares? But I think it's drive of the day. What are your thoughts on that? I think the last race, I mean, it's over 2 races, but the last race was the money race. What were your thoughts?
Well, I actually thought Water Arrow had a really good crack at everything. but I'm inclined to give it to Slappers, mate. He ran a good race on both races.
Yeah, no, look, I agree. I'm just looking at the chat. We've got Rebs, driver today, Slappers mate. We've got Rainbow Socks is in there. At least I'm consistent, so that's the driver today vote for him. But he can type and race, which I can't do, so that's really good. That's really good. Look, I really liked what XL did in that second race, in sort of just learning from the first race around tyre management, and he certainly did that and could maintain the those race laps to give him the break that he needed. But yeah, for me, CDXL, Slappers and Water Arrow went really well. Look, my driver of the day is Slappers, mate. I think it was a great outing for him, very consistent, and shows a lot of pace.
He does.
So
he does. And
hopefully he doesn't end up in Div 2.
Oh, God.
we don't need that, do we?
No.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of other Matt, so definitely Slappers, Debrev, David, driver today, Water Arrow. Yeah, it was a really solid race there. So, but look, overall, thank you very much. A really big thanks to people watching, but an even bigger thanks to the community drivers, the 6 community drivers that went in there tonight. I hope you had a lot of fun, and from certainly what we could see on the stream, a lot of racecraft displayed there. Everyone, the whole 9 drivers, or 10 when Fez was in the first race. Plenty of racing room given, and when you have various drivers from different divisions and new guys and fast guys, it's really good to see them all stay out of trouble and be very respectful, and that's what Sector 1's all about, really good competitive racing and respectful racing. So well done, everyone. So final words, mate?
I just have to mirror those thoughts. That it was actually a very clean race, and I saw some really respectful side-by-side racing in there. Well done, fellas. Thank you very much.
Yep. So next community round, next Sunday night, we move to Suzuka for the main series. We've got divs 3 and 4 out of the blocks. It's at Suzuka. It's pretty sure it's at Suzuka. Yes, it is. And
yes,
it is forecast for rain. And the weather this week in practice has been. It's rained every day in practice, so the forecast is the same for the weekend. So I think it'll be on like Donkey Kong, and certainly in that early to mid section of the race. So stay tuned for that. That's on Sunday night. It'll be 7 o'clock Australian Daylight Savings Time, 6 o'clock for the good guys in Queensland, and the other states. I'm not good at maths. So that's this Sunday. The week after, we move to Group A, and following the Group A race, we'll be back for the community series at Suzuka on the Thursday night. Again, it's 7 o'clock Australian Daylight Savings Time. So thank you, everyone. We'll sign off from here, and have a great night. Stay safe. Cheers, guys.